Hi there, it's Brian Sebastian, Movie Reviews and More, Women on TV.tv, and iTube247. And we've been wanting to do this show for a long time. I know nonstop. Terry Marie's been talking about her trainer from Denver, all this stuff. We finally got everybody to come on, so you get to introduce your trainer and your friend. How's that?
Okay, I just threw my glasses before I don't need them anymore. Anyway, hi everybody, it's Terry and Marie, and I want to introduce everybody to Sarah. I started prep for a show that I was going to do in May, and that kind of got put on hold. But she's a pro. I'm gonna let her introduce herself. But I'm just so excited to work with her. So once this mess is over, I'm back on stage, and she's going to take me there. So, hi Sarah, good to see you.
Hi guys, thank you for having me.
Sarah, give us your full name.
It's Sarah Kornhauser. A IFBB figure pro, and currently living in Golden, Colorado.
Sarah, how did Terry find you? And were you surprised when she reached out to you?
Well, that's an interesting story.
Well, we're just going to leave it.
That's why I asked the question.
I don't even care if you know who sees this. Anyway, it was kind of a con artist kind of guy out there. But you go ahead, Sarah. You can tell the story.
So a mutual business partner, I guess, or was supposed to be, introduced me and Terry, hoping to get Terry training for a show and some modeling shoots.
I remember the story now too. And that's all we need to hear.
Yeah. But anyway, sometimes a bad situation with certain people can bring on a good situation. So the bright side is that, I'm working with Sarah. She's awesome. She's been doing online training with all her clients. So it's keeping everybody accountable. There's a Facebook group. So that way, everybody can chat and talk about their experiences, because everybody's having a really difficult time without having the gyms open. So it's kind of a good support group. Every athlete, every gym rat I know is losing their minds right now. So.
True.
Sarah, you were talking about how your clients were adapting to things, and we were Terry, before you came out, we were talking about loneliness, which is important. Talk about that.
I think a lot of my clients, more than just struggling with not lifting as heavy as they would like, are struggling with missing their community of the gym. Mm-hmm. Missing social interactions. It's a type of family. They get you where no one else is going to get you. Like, they just understand you on a different level.
Terry, you feel the same way, don't you? Because you're like, you need to go to the gym, you need that outlet.
Well, yeah, I think unless you're people that are into physical fitness, a lot of it is mind-body connection, and a lot of people don't understand that, it's a stress release for a lot of us. And again, as Sarah said, it's, that community of people that you work out with together. So there's a lot of missing pieces to our lives right now. And again, unless you're in that community, it's kind of hard for some people to understand that, like, working at home it's just not the same. You just don't have that motivation. And then as Sarah said, it's really hard to lift heavy at home with a home gym. So we're kind of having to switch around a lot.
I know a lot of my housewives or stay-at-home moms, that's the 2 hours they get to themselves a day. That's their time. And that's not selfish. They have to take care of themselves physically and mentally. But they don't get that anymore.
Yeah, a lot of people think that it's selfish that we want the gym open, but really it's like the healthiest people in the world are, athletes. We have the best immune systems out there because of our diets and because we're, pretty regular on our workouts. To me, a gym is essential. So.
I agree.
Sarah, what are you missing from not competing right now? And are you done, or do you want to go back now?
Well, I keep bumping my shows. So I've had 3 cancel or reschedule. So I just keep extending. So now my next show is scheduled for August 1st in Tampa. And fingers crossed that one happens, and I'll be ready.
How do you see going back to these shows? Because we're going to talk to Dan Solomon from Mr. Olympia Tuesday, Terry and I, and we'll find out the news that he wants to tell us. How do you see it personally as that person who's still competing? What will be most important for you as someone who's married and then someone who travels around the country to shows?
Well, this is probably not, this is a roundabout way of answering your question. My fears for the promoters. Without an audience, I don't know that they can financially sustain throwing shows just for the athletes. As a pro, I don't know if they can afford to pay, winning the purses. Like, where's the money going to come from? Yes, vendors contribute. But the audience is a huge sum of money. I mean, that's how they pay for things. So I don't know how that's going to affect Olympia coming up. That was my goal, was to do as many shows as I could to earn Olympia qualification points. So it might be that my dream's just put on hold and start over again next year.
And Terry, for you wanting to go back because you have Sarah training you, that has to be mentally frustrating for you.
Yeah, well, I mean, I finally got my mindset on, lifting heavier, and now I'm having to incorporate more HIIT workouts. There's just no other way to get my workouts in. But again, Sarah's been great because I told her I went out and got a TRX machine. I was going to show you guys this. I bought this weighted vest, which is awesome. So I'm incorporating this in all my workouts. So actually adding another 10 pounds to every can, cleanser with wet.
Talk about, we missed a little bit of
all that kind of thing, but it's still not the same. But I mean, what was that? Did we break up?
Yeah, you broke up. Talk about what that vest does and why you bought it.
Okay, well, this vest, this is a vest that you wear. I'll kind of put it on like this. You guys can see. So this is going to add 10 pounds of weight to any of my workouts. So if I'm doing a HIIT workout, whether I'm jumping around, it's going to add that resistance that I'm not getting with heavy weights. Okay. So I mean, I have some barbells here, but again, it's just, I'm trying to be creative as possible using the vest, using the bands. So again, yeah, you have to get creative. So what I've done is I sent a list to Sarah of the equipment that I have here at home, and then she sets out a workout plan for me using this equipment.
Sarah, are you using that also, or what are you using?
I have a TRX also, a few dumbbells, a few kettlebells, and a lot of bands. And I'm doing the same thing as Terry. I'm just either doing giant sets or a HIIT circuit, so that I'm mostly doing full body workouts every time I work out, so that I can get my heart rate up, burn a little more calories. And it's allowing me to overload my muscles a little more than I would if I was just doing the basic bodybuilding style workouts.
Yeah, we've had to incorporate more body weight, or I would just say, Sarah, like your body weight, I guess.
More plyometrics. Just, it's kind of nice because it's kind of back to my roots. I started as a CrossFit instructor. And so it's kind of nice to mix it up. It's not what I would like to be doing, but it's still fun.
And you said, how did you start? What got you in the world of fitness?
Well, I was in healthcare first, and it was just exhausting only dealing with sick people. I couldn't help them at that point. So when we moved from North Carolina to Colorado, I just had a career change, and I started with CrossFit. And then we were in Vegas, and I got to see Olympia. That was my very first bodybuilding show. Really set the bar high, and I was like, this is what I want to do. So I started competing, and then I started training other competitors. And that was back in 2013.
Does it seem like it was that long ago?
It doesn't. It feels like yesterday.
Terry, what got you in the gym? What got you going to the gym?
I started working out. Well, I swam in high school, and I started weight training probably like 18. I mean, I wasn't doing it probably correctly because I wasn't having enough weight. I mean, I've always been athletic. So, but again, I started competing in NPC in 2014. The last 2 years I haven't competed, but I mean, that's why I've got that bug to get back on stage again. And that's why I started working with Sarah. But Yeah, I mean, it's just, to me, it's, even if I'm not competing, like just going to the gym is just a lifestyle.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. So your social media links.
Say it again. I'm sorry.
Give your social media links, how people can follow you.
I actually only have Facebook and Instagram. On Facebook, I'm just Sarah Kornhauser with a K. I think I'm the only Kornhauser. So
So if they come on your Instagram or Facebook, that's where they can hire you to coach them for. Okay.
and then Instagram, I'm Sarah Korney _, IFBB Pro.
So your goals for this year would have been what? As each show is being canceled right now, so say from August on, what's the goals for the rest of the year for you at that point?
Well, I guess it depends on when they reschedule Olympia. I hear there's rumors that they're going to move it to another day. So technically, usually, 2 weeks before Olympia, I think, is the last qualifying show for that Olympia. And then everything starting with Wings of Strength, Rising Phoenix on through the year is for the following year Olympia. So depending on when they move Olympia, if they move Olympia, it's going to depend on what I do to qualify for either this year or next year.
That's interesting. I didn't know that, but that would make sense. I mean, Terry, good thing we're talking to him Tuesday, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's also going to be interesting because I think by state depends on what shows are going to be. I don't know what's going to happen with California with the shows here because they've got all these new criteria for certain events to open up, and there's not any definite dates. So I'm thinking I might have to go to Vegas or something for a show. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? But I want to schedule something to keep me have something to look forward to.
And that's a good question because how do you know who qualifies now? And then what about the athletes from outside the U.S., you know?
Right.
What about Terry? What about Hattie Chaplin, who we met last year from Iran?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. Well, there's not been any shows to accumulate points or even to win shows to qualify.
Yeah, and then they're going to be taking.
It's like everybody's on an even scale, but how do you choose the right male or woman?
Right.
And for the vendors, because I've been reaching out and talking to some of the vendors, they're not sure that they're invited.
Yeah.
And I'm in Vegas, so nothing is opening yet. But the thing is, we don't.
It's hard, especially after the Arnold. I think a lot of vendors lost a little bit of money.
They lost a lot of money.
Yeah.
I've been reaching out to them. Some of them I can reach, some of them I can't get. Some of them won't be around, and that's very sad. I've been literally on them before they went. I've still been on them. I still can't reach certain people. I don't know what's going on, but I know it's not good. I can't reach them.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know too is which we need to ask Dan if they're going to have the amateurs and be able to compete, or they're just going to have to start with the pros. I mean, obviously they're probably going to do temperature checks and all that. So I don't know. It's just it's going to be a different reality for a lot of us this year when competing.
I could see some of those like smaller NPC shows going on because the NPC athletes actually have to pay to compete. So there is a little bit of money for the venues, whereas the pro shows, I mean, we don't pay to compete,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I could see more of the local shows happening than I can the pro shows.
Well, hopefully. Again, it's so iffy. I don't know what to think. But how is it in Colorado? Are things opening up today, or are they? What's kind of the atmosphere there right now?
We'll know tonight. So Denver did a soft open 2 weeks ago, but then the county commissioners kind of put the kibosh on that. So my county's still not open. Most of Denver's still not open.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll know tonight. Tomorrow there's supposed to be the phase 1 opening where you can do curbside pickup from stores, shopping centers, non-essential things like Marshalls, TJ Maxx. And gyms are going to allow personal training.
Now, we don't even have that in California with personal training. The gyms are pretty much off limits. Another thing I'm trying to figure out what they're going to do is if they're going to make us wear a mask at the gym, because that's going to be pretty hard to do.
Right.
Because if you're trying to get a lot of oxygen in, and I don't know how wearing a mask is going to help. I mean, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I talked to my coach yesterday because we have tentative training scheduled for tomorrow. And we have to sign a waiver and they're going to take our temperature, but masks are just going to be personal choice.
Okay.
I think the risk of hypoxia would be of a pretty big concern. Like,
yeah, I mean, I was wearing one when I was running, but I have asthma. It restricts my breathing. I can't get my heart rate up enough when I'm wearing them. So when I'm exercising now outside, I just don't wear them anymore. It just beats the purpose.
I think so too. I understand. I'll wear one in the grocery store so that other people are comfortable. But exercising, I feel like I'm risking my health wearing one.
Yeah, I do too. And then, I mean, yeah, before the bandanas actually breed bacteria. So if you're sweating, that's
right,
bringing more bacteria to those bandanas. And I don't really think a lot of people realize that if you're going to wear those bandanas, you got to keep them clean.
right.
You're not.
Well, it's just like when you go out, what do you do now? And people should know this, but a lot of people don't know that. If you're going out to the grocery store, the clothes that you wore, you've got to wash them.
Right.
You know, even if it's once a week, you can't wear them like tomorrow. Like, you know, even if you're sequestered in the house, you can't because you just went out. Inside, you might be okay with your family, you might, but outside, no, you've got to wash them. So here's the thing. As of today, Terry, we're working on a deal now. I'm going to be getting 100 of the N95 masks. We're going to be promoting the masks, just like I'm going to be promoting, you know, the restroom kits. I have all these companies reaching out to me, but also who we had on, if you were on that show, Casey Wright with the bandanas, were you on that show?
Yeah, I was.
So I'm going to have both of them. So when we're doing our shows, no matter where it is, I'm going to always have to carry these for any guests that may not have them, wear them once or whatever the case, but we're going to have our own supply of stuff. And then I think what I'm going to do, he's making me the bandanas that say movie reviews and more on them. So which goes to the point of wearing bandanas, you still got to wash them. You got to take them off and wash them.
That's my point. If you're going to wear those, you got to wash them because especially if you're wearing them to work out and they're going to sweaty, they're going to get dirty, and it's just you have to make sure those things are clean.
And then when it comes to the masks, since I'm going to have an endless supply of masks, they're already here for me. I'm working on them after. So we're going to have that. So when we have guests coming on, taking your temperatures, they have the kits. This is what I found today. So imagine how happy I am about all this stuff. We are in such a great place because our members, 4.5 million views a day. You can imagine the phone calls I've been getting. The phone is still going off right now. But, you know, they know I told them after 2, we'll get back. And then I think, Terry, I told you about Bruce giving me the legendary stuff. He sent me a whole box of things yesterday after our show because he liked the stuff that we did, and I'm very happy about that. So we're in good hands with stuff. So it's good to hear both your point of views on wearing the mask in the gym if it's optional. Because some people leave their mask in the car in the sun. I don't know what the right thing is to do. I don't know.
Well, I think it's a good idea. I've been leaving my mask. What I've been doing is I've been spraying them with hydrogen peroxide, and then I've been leaving them
That's right.
Because the hydrogen peroxide kills bacteria, it kills germs, and then the sun actually too. That's why they're using ultraviolet lights to use in the subways in New York. So I'm trying to get as much vitamin D as I can every day to keep my immune system up, as I don't believe it's helping to sit inside all day. You need sunshine. You just do.
No, it's not. You still need to go out and walk or run or ride a bike, and you can do that safely.
Yep.
But what I found was interesting is that I saw one of the things for the gyms that you have to wear gloves, and I was kind of laughing because if you're training, every athlete wears gloves to the gym, so that was kind of funny. But I'm just wondering what kind. Still with your gloves, those get sweaty too, and I'm gonna be more careful on my gym gloves because that's just.
But here's the thing. This is common sense.
Mm-hmm.
Those people would take those gloves home every night and wash them. I mean, women have different outfits, so they've got gloves that match their outfits most of, right, Terry?
Well, my gloves, though,
see, Sarah's laughing. She knows.
Bag and I wear them, so I haven't been. Before this, I've thought about cleaning my gloves every day. I just throw.
Well, why not? They get sweaty, as you just said, right? That's just common sense to me.
Well, Sarah, with gloves, how many of us we go to the gym, put our gloves in our gym bag, our gym bag, my gym bag, I'm sorry, but this is a lot of us, they're smelly and like, you just don't, it's my gym bag, whatever. So I guess.
But like I said, it's just common sense. That's where the restroom kit can come in, or Lysol, provided you can find Lysol, or have to, what you were saying is spraying it. We got to carry these things with us now, right?
Brian, you can't get Lysol in California. I've been looking for Lysol for 2 months.
I can't find it here either. So, I mean, like I said, that's why I've got all the stuff being sent to me now. Yeah. But here's the thing. Oh, I've got a training mask coming that's specifically for fitness. I've been on the phone with them, and it's the one that you can really breathe okay in it. And it's called the training mask. And you can take out the little circle part of that and then replace it all the time. I mean, again, these
I have one of those.
I'm talking to, they're actually really good. And a lot of people don't know about these products. They just don't.
So Sarah, where were you getting, did you have extra equipment when this thing started, or did you already,
So I think my husband worked for the State Patrol.
Mhm.
They have a pretty decent gym, so they allowed us to borrow equipment.
Oh,
Since there's no cadets they send all the cadets home. So, I mean, they have a very stocked storage closet that we borrowed from that I'll have to return shortly.
Well, at least you have it now. I mean, when this first started, I kind of jumped on the bandwagon because I freaked out. So I bought a bunch of stuff. And then 2 weeks later, you couldn't get anything. Everything was sold out. And now if you go to Craigslist and those places, everybody's jacking up equipment because it's like gym equipment and toilet paper.
I still don't get the toilet paper.
I still don't.
Hey, like I said, still goes back to the.
It was the craziest thing though. So I was going to ask you, Sarah, another thing that I incorporated too was that, the challenge bars, I got those. So those are another thing I'm going to have to ask you about some help on those, but that's another thing to build upper body strength that I'm going to be incorporating in my workouts.
You're going to have to tell me what a challenge bar is.
Okay, I'll show you real quick. Just get up for a second.
See, all these things that, people have never heard of, it's really interesting. And that's one reason why we like to talk about them.
A challenge bar. So there's 2 of them.
Okay, so you do dips and.
Yeah, I've been using to do dips, and then I've been actually doing bridges with these, and then push-ups with these. I know you can do planks on these. There's all kinds of things to do. I got this on Body Rock. I also incorporated a sandbag, which I think it weighs like 40 pounds. So I'll kind of show you guys that.
Dude, the question is, what didn't Terry buy? That's the real question.
Because I was like, I am going to get my workout. So this is my sandbag. So I've been.
Yeah, and see what color she got? Pink.
Well, Brian, so you could do this, put this on your back here, and then you can do squats, you can do lunges. So again,
I like that. I like that.
What?
I like that. Yesterday, someone came over and borrowed our 35-pound kettlebell. I had to put it outside for them because I don't want them in the gym upstairs,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But I just didn't even think.
They haven't been.
Brian, I didn't even think about the vest or the bag or any of that. So I got desperate, and I'm like, oh my God, I got to incorporate weight in this. So
Sandbags are so awesome too, because they're not stable. So you're having to, tighten up all your core and everything.
Yeah.
So,
and kind of cool too, because they have different, I don't know if you can see this. Handles on here. This is there's handles here on the side. There's other the whole thing has got different handles, so you can throw it around, drag it, and the workouts are pretty challenging when you use them.
It's really awesome. When I first started, before CrossFit was CrossFit, we called it underground training.
Mm-hmm.
We used a lot of sandbags, but it was a sandbags we had made or the gym had made. So there was not the handles. They were like legit sandbags. They would just burn the skin off your knuckles trying to hold on. But man, I felt badass doing it.
Yeah. So what advice would you give to people that are a little bit frustrated on getting motivated working at home? I mentally, because I work out, I just have to, but some people are like, oh, I can't go to the gym. So they get out of their routine and then they're getting lazy. What would you tell those people, or how would you motivate them?
Well, I think motivation's overrated. Be disciplined. Do it anyway. You're not going to regret doing it. You'll regret being lazy next month when the gym opens and now you're, out of shape and ashamed to go back to the gym, or you're out of shape and now your immune system's suffering and you're more susceptible to this virus. You're gonna regret that. You're not going to regret just doing it anyway. So,
Yeah. What kind of supplements are you telling everybody to take? Because I know you've got a list of supplements for me, so to keep healthy and strong.
basic multivitamin, D3. I mean, unless you live on the equator, you're just not getting enough vitamin D. Even being in California, you're not getting enough vitamin D. Vitamin C is another great one for your immune system. And then the rest is just very specific to the person. So I'm not huge on supplements unless there's a deficiency somewhere that I see. But so C, D, multivitamin, that would be my go-to.
Terry, since you do red carpets and you host Sportamix, talk about Sportamix since I'm wearing the hat.
Well, we haven't done any events in a while, but Sportamix is a platform for athletes, whether it be pro athletes or non-athletes, housewives. It's a connection to the sports world. So we have football, weight training, even golf. It's a way to hook up coaches, and you can find coaches on there. You can follow your fans. So it's kind of like a Facebook for the sports world. So you guys check it out.
Sarah, you're not on it yet, are you?
I'm not, no.
Well, you should be now, because I'm going
I
to
will be.
Yeah, you can have your profile on there, and then you can connect with other athletes. You can bring on clients through there. People can get share advice. But yeah, it's sport specific, so it's really cool.
That is very cool.
Hey, we got about 3 minutes. So, Sarah, what do you want the audience, people who train and people who don't train, to know about you and as a coach that you are? What would you say to them?
As a coach, I try to treat everybody as an individual. Your health is always first to me. So yes, we have big goals, and bodybuilding is an extreme sport. That doesn't mean you can't be healthy about it, can't be smart about it. But don't hold yourself back just because of that either. Be healthy, be smart, but give it everything you have.
And Terry, what would you, when you found her, you were doing different types of things, but now that you're working with Sarah, what would you say to people that aren't getting to the gym or might be going to the gym for the first time when they do open up?
What would I say then to them? Well, again, it just depends on your goals. I mean, not everybody wants to get on stage, but right now with this coronavirus thing, I think your goal is to be healthy and keep up and keep moving. Sitting in your house eating crappy food, not getting sunlight, you're more likely to get sick. So as Sarah said, like right now, we just all got to be concerned about our health. Of course, competing is in the back of my mind, but who knows? Like with the food thing, of course, like everybody's like, how am I going to get my protein in with the meat is and all this? So we just have to just try to stay as healthy as possible. I went out and I've got protein powder here just in case the meat thing.
All right. So for Sarah, I want to thank you for being on, for Sarah Kornhauser, and obviously for Terry nonstop as usual. This is Brian Sebastian, Movie Reviews and More. We'll watch Woman on TV.tv and IT247, and we will see you next week.